Neonic Void Productions presents.
Hello, welcome to Spookocalypse, where we talk all things spooky. My name is Housekeeper, and I'm joined by Zio and Bunyip, my other host. Unfortunately, my chairman could not be here today.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot to mention it last time too.
Yeah.
I did.
Should
Last episode, my chairman also could not make it.
I was
If
gonna say,
it,
should we say why?
the day of the recording, it is his birthday. Yay! Day of
Yay.
birth.
Yay.
He's 1 year older. Happy birthday, Mad Chairman. We hope that you are enjoying your time.
Yeah.
Today we will be talking about the one and only Summer Party Massacre. Two, not one, but two. It's my favorite out of the Summer Party Massacre movies. But before we get on to our discussion, let me do the housekeeping real quick. If you like this podcast, make sure you follow and rate us on whatever site you listen to your podcast. Follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at Spookocalypse. That is at SPOOKOCALYPSE. New episodes get uploaded every Saturday. Links are going to be down in the description for other podcasts that are part of the Neonic family. We also have a YouTube. If you are from YouTube, hi, hello, welcome. Make sure you check out the other shows that are on there. Um, we do spooky shit, and mints are going to be on the pillow.
And today's flavor mint is
I want to say
Entrapment, because
I
you
w-
can't escape.
I wanted to say corn dogs because that's the only thing that I saw them eating,
fair.
or burger. Classic American food.
That is
Greasy.
to American barbecue flavor.
Oh yeah, the flavor of mint today is American barbecue, which is still a very wide variety of barbecue because Texas barbecues taste differently from like California barbecue
Yeah.
to like New York barbecue. Speaking of, you know that they have a Rudy's in California,
That's not that's yeah, I'm sure.
and it's supposed to be like authentic Texas barbecue. Bitch, that shit ain't authentic. I had it. I was like, this isn't this isn't like the Rudy's back home. I was upset. Rudy's in California, do better. Anyway, so we are talking about Summer Party Massacre 2.
Yas.
So it starts off with like a dream sequence, right? This girl Courtney. Excuse me. This girl Courtney is having a dream about like some hot guy on her eyes is hot. Which quickly turns into a nightmare about a death, to which she wakes up screaming and crying, and everything like that. Um, she invites so sh- she invites her crush Matt. Um, while she's in the car with one of her friends. I don't remember which one she was with in the car. I think it's the Amy. Was it Amy?
It might have been Amy.
It is Amy. So, her and Amy are in the car. They're driving to school whenever like Matt shows up behind her, and Courtney invites her or him, sorry, him to their band practice,
Yeah.
and then it like flash forwards to the band practice to where you see Courtney, Amy, Sheila, and Sally performing one of their songs. And sorry, I'm trying to like run through everything. And Matt eventually shows up and they go off and they flirt, and she invites him to stay at her friend's dad's new house. It's like in a new building, like area. Like, you know how they have new housing and stuff like that, and there's like some houses that are already built and then some houses that are just have framework. That's basically what it is. And she invites him over for her birthday weekend, with her and her friends. Before even asking her mom if it was okay. I was like, wow, you're just making these plans before even asking your mom. Anyway, so that night, she's being all weird and playing with her food before she like tries to ask her mom if she could go stay the weekend at her friend's house. And her mom tells her like, "Oh, well, we're going to go visit your sister who's in an asylum, like the sister that survived the first killer from the first movie, like she's in the asylum. We're going to go see her." And she kind of like gets all upset over it and then like starts crying, and she's like, "Well, it's my birthday this weekend and I really don't want to be spending our time in an insane asylum." And her mom's like, "Oh my God, I forgot that it's your birthday, bitch."
Right.
My mom forgot the day that she gave birth to me. She would not be my mom anymore. I would have disowned her. Be like, fuck you. You ain't my mom. You don't remember my birthday. Anyway. And she was like, "Oh, well, we could just stay home and we can invite all your friends." And she's like, "Well, all my friends are going to be at the house and I'm going to be here." She goes, "Well, I don't even know you, the parents." "Oh, they're super strict." That's all
Yeah.
she says. "They're super strict. They're cool. They're super strict." Which was the selling point for the mom. They show up to the house, do their little bickering like, "Oh yeah, well, you only invited us so we could help unpack your dad's shit." They start, they break into oh gosh, was it Sheila? I think it was Sheila. They break into Sheila's dad's like liquor, not cabinet, a liquor closet. And start eating and drinking. Mind you, the only thing that they drink is like champagne or wine and not liquor. So, and they get drunk. They start, the first pair of titties that you see is Sheila's, as they're like doing the very stereotypical pillow fights. And they're in two of them in their bras, well, one of them in their bra, one of them tits out, like. And during that time, Jeff and TJ, who are two of the girls' boyfriends, show up and get a little peep show. They're watching the little pillow fight, and they're like, "I didn't know that girls actually do this." They're like, "Bro, just because we went to heaven." I don't know. I don't know why TJ had that accent. To be honest, I forgot
You
that
had no
TJ had
clue.
that accent. He was just all like, he had like this dude, like kind of accent. And I was like, why is this a thing? I forgot. Anyway, they break into the house basically because they left the fucking door open and scare the girls. And that night, Courtney has a dream of the killer from the first movie. But now he's reincarnated as a greaser, and he's armed with a guitar with a drill at the end of it.
Because if you didn't know, the main character, is the survivor from the first movie.
Yeah. I mean, and that her sister's in the loony bin. Oh yeah, she also has this dream. Like during this dream, like her sister's just like, don't go all the way. Like she's like begging her sister like to not have sex. She's like, don't go all the way, please don't go all the way. And then like she gets chased by the driller killer. And she wakes up on the kitchen floor. And she throughout the day, her visions are getting like more and more violent. Um she like sees him show up and well, it starts as like auditory hallucinations. It's like she hears him like cackling off in the distance. There's a point where like she's eating a burger and the burger turns into like a hand, a bloody hand. Um she tries to take a bath and like during the bath the water turns to blood. But everybody else just sees her as like fucking going crazy. Like she's like they're like, bro, like you're kind of killing the mood. What the fuck's going on with you? And I think it was during she calls like one of her friends up. Now, mind you, this friend, it's so self-centered. It makes me laugh because like Courtney's going through it. And she's like, well, I'm your friend. Like, just tell me what's wrong, what's going on. And she's just all like, well, I don't know. I feel like I'm going crazy and explaining all this stuff. And then like a friend goes, I know exactly how you feel. I mean, I got this giant ass pimple on my face and it just looks so bad. I'm like, ma'am, your friend is fucking going through it and you're worried about a pimple that no one can see but you. And while she's explaining this, um Courtney is seeing this giant like her like this girl's face gets like mutilated to where like it's just this giant pustule just hanging off of her face. And it explodes in her face, which I'm like, oh yeah, body horror. Love to see it. Because I fucking hate that. That's like the worst thing for me. I hate seeing whiteheads pop, to be honest. I was like, ugh! Had the same reaction. The big old pimple pops like right on Courtney's face and she like
Ew.
almost vomits and runs downstairs to run into Matt's arms, which I love how he just fucking just showed up. Like there were like he was just there. There was no like scene where he shows up like he's driving up. Nope, he's just already in the house. Love it. And she gets comforted whenever he arrives. Um During this time, like, oh, it's Sally. Sally's the one who's just all like, oh yeah, I have this big ass fucking pimple. She like disappears afterward. And like Courtney like truly believes that she's like dead, like Sally's dead. And like everybody's in the kitchen and like there's like she's trying to explain things and like she freaks out because she's like, who turned on the food composter? And they're all like, oh, well, it was on whenever we came down here. And so everybody freaks out. And she's like, oh my God, Sally's in the composter. And they call the cops. They call the cops and they explain the situation of like, oh yeah, I saw my friend die and then her body disappeared. And now this composter's turned on. And we're too scared to look into it because if it's our friend, like, we don't know what we're going to do. And as they're explaining all this, and the cops are all like, have you guys fucking been on drugs? Sally walks in. And TJ's just like, oh no, go away. You're supposed to be dead. Which I think that was like the funniest part that he ever had. Like the rest of it, like he was just being a prick.
Yeah.
Um And the cops are all like, okay, like you guys wasted good tax money on this fucking call, and I don't want to hear from you guys ever again. Don't fucking call us, like being like big old pricks, right? You know, like fitting the MO. And they leave. Everybody decides that they want to go leave as well. They're like, come on. Well, the cops go, come on. Denny's is holding our table.
Fucking
they
stupid.
and they leave. I mean, to be fair, I've seen a lot of cops eat at Denny's, so I was like, oh, that fits. So then after they leave, everybody else is like, I'm hungry too. Let's go eat. And and Courtney's just all like, I don't want to leave. I am good. So Matt decides to stay with Courtney as everybody else leaves to go eat. And Matt like cooks her dinner and then like surprises her with a birthday cake. And like they're all excited, and then like Courtney and Matt like start making out, which eventually leads to them. I, it it says they have sex, they don't have sex. She gets his shirt off or have part way off, and then boo doop doop, the killer just suddenly appears as she's just like imagining the killer while making out with Matt, and a drill just goes straight through Matt's chest.
But it's not a dream anymore.
It's not a dream anymore. It's real, because she comes down. So like as like they're making out and about to go and do like the fucking horizontal tango, uh her friends have come back, and they're like jamming out, like acting like they're drunk buffoons, while playing on like the instruments and shit. And the driller killer shows up, kills Matt, and like Courtney flees downstairs, and she's like in hysterics, understandably so, and she's covered in blood. Um, and they chase her, and he chases her downstairs. Um, they're like, "Oh my god, Courtney, what the fuck's going on?" And that's whenever the driller killer shows up, and then everybody fucking freaks out and tries to run away. Um, the others escape, but Sally it got cornered behind her drum kit, and she tries to like edge across the she scoots across the wall, like begging, as this guy is taunting her with the drill, and she tries to run away into the kitchen, but she like stops in front of a wall instead, and he impales her with the drill. As everybody else was trying to call the cops. So, oh gosh, what is it? Like Courtney, Amy, and Jeff are trying to call the cops, and like they put them on hold or something. Something happens to where they can't get through, and the drill goes through the phone. I forgot what the word was for a minute. They have landlines, y'all. A dinosaur contraption. And they decide to run out of the house. At this point in time, Sheila and TJ have fled as well. TJ has a giant cut on his leg, and they're like limping through like the streets and shit. They try to stop a car that drives by. The car basically leaves them for dead as they're continuing to run down the street. Courtney, Amy, and Jeff make a plan to get the keys that have been left inside and then go to the car and leave, which that is probably one of the smartest things anybody has ever thought of when it comes to a killer flick, is just getting in the car and leave. Sucks for them though. They didn't follow the rule of always check your back seat, because the guy was there. So as they're driving away, he just kind of lifts his head. I think he's like wearing a flower in his hair at that moment. And he says some taunting shit I can't remember. And then kills Jeff. And kills Jeff as they're driving. Courtney and Amy leave the car and flee back into the house. And then it cuts back to Sheila and TJ where they go to a house and like they're like banging on the door and they're banging on the window, screaming for help. But the driller killer catches up and kills TJ. And then the guy comes out like he's like, "Huh? Fucking kids," and then like closes the door. And then they find and then it pans to like TJ's dead body. Courtney and Amy make it back to the house and then barricade themselves in one of the rooms where there is another landline. They try calling the cops one more time. And the cops are all like, "Oh, it's you again. You're that fucking crazy girl. Don't call us ever again. Like, you're fucking screwed. Like, fuck you. Like, you wasted our time." And hung up on her. And then Sheila makes it back to the house and she's like running into the house trying to get into like a room to hide. And this is where my favorite part comes up. Joe the Killer's just like, it's showtime. And there is a fantastic musical number. Song is called Let's Buzz. And he's basically, I fucking love it. I'm sorry. He's literally just dancing around the house with his fucking guitar singing this goddamn song. And as he's singing the song, like oh gosh, what's her name? Sheila's losing her fucking mind and trying to open up this door. I'm sorry. It's so good. It's just watching him basically shake his ass while scooting backwards and then like hip thrusting, like the camera is groin level as he's going down this fucking like hallway.
So good.
It's so good. It's so good. He's just like, "Let's buzz." And he's just fucking like hip thrusting. And I'm just like, oh God, this is amazing. I'm so in love with the driller killer. I love this guy so much. This one. I don't like the first one. I love this guy. I wish I saw him in more shit because this movie, I love him. I love him. Dead by Daylight. Put him put him in there, please, 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 please. I'll buy the entire DLC. Like, I would. It's like I'm sorry, Trickster. I love you, but I will definitely play Driller Killer. 100%. Oh my god, I would love it so much. Um, and at the end of the song, he impales her with the drill. I think it was just really funny because they're like, "Oh my god, it's Sheila. Let's unbarricade the door." And as like they're halfway done like moving the dresser, like you hear his cackle and they're all like, "Fuck that." And start barricading the door again. And I was all like, "Damn, you're real for that," to be honest, cuz I would do the same. Be like, "Sheila, bye. I'll mourn your death."
No.
And then they escape out of the window. After that, he starts drilling into the door, trying to break open the door. They escape out the window, start like climbing on roofs and shit. And he pursues them through a construction site. Where there's another music number. Like they're hiding, like I guess like on one of the upper floors. Not Sheila, Amy is like bleeding profusely. And he's hunting them down and he locates them because the blood drips on his face. So he like he drills through the floor to make them start running, and then they're trying to like climb out one of like the determined windows, and the killer uh basically makes Courtney lose the grip on Amy, and Amy falls to her death. And so she runs, and like she's like hiding, which is not a very good hiding place, and you just see him kind of like lay his head on like one of like the studs that's there. And oh gosh, what did he say? He's just like, oh, she like broke my heart, so she had to die. Like he goes through all this. I love him.
Jeez.
I love the taunts that he does. Dude, listen, this man, I wish I wrote down everything that he said, because everything that he said was just golden. I love him so much. And his reactions to things, like whenever like he kills who was it? Sheila? Like, and he pulls out the drill, and like he just like looks at it, and he's like, ooh, like so good. I love him. Anyway, so Courtney like finally fucking loses it, right? And she finds like this torch, and he's just like, come on, baby, light my fire. Then Courtney's like, I fucking plan to, and like lights him up. Like she lights his ass up, and like he dies. Um, Come morning, she's still standing at the construction site. She has one of those like shock blankets wrapped around her. And there's like an ambulance, the first responders pulling a gurney or a stretcher. And like she stops it and like looks at like her best friend Amy dead for a minute before she wakes up. Well, like Amy starts like cackling like him, and Courtney wakes up. And she's next to Matt. And it seems like it's the next morning after their little sexcapade. And she goes and like she kisses Matt. And as she's kissing Matt, the hand that was resting behind Matt's shoulder lifts. And you see the studded glove and bracelets of the driller killer wrap around Courtney. And then you see the other hand wrap around Courtney, and you see like the ashes smeared on his body. And he's just all like, I think he says like, why'd you have to hurt me, baby? And then like
Stupid.
I fucking love it. I
So
love him.
good.
I fucking love his one-liners, dude. They are so good. And so then like it zoomed, like she screams, and then like it shows that like she's actually in a psychiatric ward. And like she's just like screaming and like losing her fucking mind, and and like as she's screaming, you see a drill burst through the floor of her room, and then the credits roll, and the ending credits song is Let's Buzz. I love this song. I
No,
love
same.
I love this movie. I love that whenever they were chasing, I didn't say this, but whenever he's chasing him through the like construction site, like he's still like doing a little jig. Like he's dancing through this construction site. This guy is having like the time of his life. And like honestly, I don't know. Like it seemed like at the beginning, like it just seemed like the driller killer was like pursuing her romantically. You know what I mean? Like he was taunting her, but he was still like kind of pursuing her. And I'm just all like, what if you just, instead of Matt, you just went for him? Like what would have happened? Like would he have killed you? Probably not.
Yeah,
You just
probably
wanted your
not.
love, Courtney. He just wanted your love. I'm gonna see if that song's on Spotify. If it is, I'm gonna keep that song. Not sponsored by Spotify.
I mean, it probably is.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not. There is an episode of a podcast though that's titled "That's Buzz," and I was like, "Oh,
I
So we jump to symbolism. The drill is obviously a penetrative phallic symbol, and that's it.
I
Next.
found it.
oh god,
It's by the Paladins."
got it. But yes, as Bunyip stated, the drill is symbolism for something phallic.
I mean,
It's kind of obvious. It's not like, what is the mystery of this? Like it's pretty much a dick.
Yeah.
it is like the one thing that Courtney's sister says is don't go all the way. He was going after the people who have had sex.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Courtney, if you just kept your flower, man. If you just maybe if she lost it to the driller
Virginity is
killer.
cool.
Virginity. It's just like if you have sex, you're gonna get pregnant and die.
Oh no.
And that would be sex ed in the South. The
Right.
safest sex is no sex. Don't ever have sex until you get married to someone that you don't actually like. But because we want grandkids, please get married and have all the children. And I'm like,
Are you
guys
gonna
are
give
so
us a living wage?
confusing.
It's like, wait, are you gonna give us a living wage so that we can support said grandchildren? No.
No.
Then I'm not gonna give you any grandchildren. I mean, I have a child. I do have a child. I have one. I have a child.
If a singular child.
I have a singular child, mind you, and I struggle. I struggle a lot. But it's not because my mom wanted grandkids. Like I have a child because I wanted a child myself. Beside the point. Is there any parts that you liked, Bunyip?
Like probably some of those classic moments of like, oh my god, they're getting slightly naked. This is a paradise for us. It was like, you guys are fucking. What are you guys gonna do about it then?
Pretend that they got killed in the kitchen.
Yes. And of course, the design of the weapon. It's not just a drill, it's a drill and a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much, yeah, the killer in his style. Just like, should I take this person seriously or just have fun with it? And you just have fun with it.
So like the drill was like right at the end of the neck of the guitar. Like instead of like the headstock where like the pegs and stuff are, it's just like a 3-foot long drill. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Sensational.
Zio, did you have anything to contribute?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Ariana Grande?
Yeah.
Please elaborate.
Yeah. 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 No, this movie was lit. It was full camp. Again, I was behooved with the imagination because I thought she was going to be the one doing the killing.
Imagine.
Like for example, he comes to life, right? And he does all
Mhm.
the killing, but in reality, it's her that's doing all the killing. I thought that's where they were going. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool, but that's not campy enough. Nah, he just pulled a Freddy Krueger and just came to life, and I'm like, okay, there's the camp. There it is. Freddy Krueger, who?
Full on to killing somebody in the bed.
Literally. and pulled out that chainsaw guitar,
Drill.
drill, chainsaw, not chainsaw, drill guitar. I'm like, who designed that? They need a promotion.
They really do this movie. So I got introduced to this movie when I was in high school by my stepdad. Like, I don't even remember how he got into this movie, but he's just all like, hey kid. Well, no, he didn't call me kid. He was like, hey baby, come here. We're gonna watch this movie together. And he goes like, I guarantee you're gonna love it. Whenever he started singing and dancing, the first time of me watching that while he was about to go murder this bitch, I screamed. A very delighted scream. Like, I was like, fantastic! And I sang that song nonstop for like a month.
I feel that.
Like, I was just like, let's buzz. For like a whole ass month. And I have tried to get so many of my friends to watch this movie. There was a point in time where a group of friends that I had, there was only a few of them in that friend group I'm still friends with, but they had a Halloween movie marathon where we could suggest movies and we vote for the movies that we're gonna watch on Halloween day, and it was literally just like nonstop like scary movies that whole day, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, he goes, you get one movie that goes straight to the finals, and we vote for those. And I was like, put Summer Party Massacre in that. Put Summer Party Massacre 2 in that, because this movie, I try and get everybody to watch this movie. And I'm not like Wade, who's like, this movie fucking sucks and I want everybody to suffer. No, this movie is gold. And I enjoy it so much every time I watch it.
Full camp gold.
I don't even enjoy camp as much as Zio does.
Oh, I live in the camp and bathe in it.
I know you do. That's just why I was like, oh, I know Zio's gonna love this fucking movie.
Oh, I was loving it. And then he came to life, and I'm like, oh, bitch, y'all got me fucked up. Y'all got me fucked up in here on this goddamn day. I was behooved. I'm like, y'all believe the bitch now?
I mean, everything else was like, the burger being weird.
Yeah.
The bath turning into blood, watching her friend's like head explode. Like, imagine like all of us in Spook, plus our significant others that we may or may not have, went to this house, and like, let's say that I started fucking saying shit like that. Would you believe me?
With our knowledge of watching horror films, yeah.
You really would?
Yeah.
But yeah,
No question.
Would you believe me if I came running down the stairs being like, oh my god, Zio's face exploded, he's dead, oh my god.
I don't know if I would quite believe you, because that could mean anything.
I mean,
Like,
I
how
would
did it
believe you.
explode?
I believe you saw it, regardless if it was real or not. I would believe you saw it, regardless if I'm still alive.
Not gonna lie though, Matt's a real one. Matt's like, this bitch has baggage, but I'll carry it for her. And I'm all like, just eyeing him like, damn. This is a high school, in the story, this is a high school boy willing to carry this bitch, like just handle this bitch's fucking baggage that comes with it. She's like, you must think I'm weird. He's like, nah, you're good. Either that or he just really wanted to fuck.
Fair.
Which, high school boy, he could have just wanted to fuck. But let me live in that fantasy of like, this boy really wanted to just like take care of her, and her fucking crazy ass. Too bad he was the first one to die.
True.
So, out of drill guitars,
Oh God.
what do we rate this movie?
I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 drill guitars on the camp scale. That's my
On the
rate. That's my
camp scale?
rating. On the camp scale and the fun scale, a 4.5 out of 5.
So do you want a 4.25?
4.5.
Just 4.5? Okay.
It's 4.5. Now I rate camp differently than regular films because as a film, it should be like a 2, maybe a 3, but like camp escalates it all up. So a 4.5.
Now, like last episode, how Bunyip rated that as a 5 just due to
Nostalgia.
nostalgia.
Yes.
I will also rate this a 5 because of nostalgia. This movie has been one of my favorite movies. It has one of my favorite killers in it. It has one of my favorite scenes in every movie that I've ever watched when it comes to scary movies. And it's not even that scary. Like, I don't get scared watching this movie. It just fills me with so much joy watching this movie. And it's one that I've watched for 10 plus years. So
I mean, fair.
I love this movie so much. So because of nostalgia, it's gonna get a 5.
So yeah, 4.5 because of camp, 5 out of 5 for nostalgia. And Bunyip.
And I think I'd go with a 3.5.
Oh,
It's fair.
And one of the drill guitars isn't tuned properly. So it sort of sounds like. So it sounds more like a dentist drill rather than a power drill.
Oh, damn. That's even scarier in my
Now,
opinion.
I am not shitting on this movie at all. It's just y'all seem to enjoy it a lot more than I did. I was like, this is kind of funny. I wasn't like, oh, I love this man and his freaky antics and his attitude and his outfit. Y'all seem to like really like that. You know, I'm like, this
how
guy
you
is
pulled
fucking
out that
weird.
Boston accent while
Wait, what?
like you like started speaking. You're like, oh, I love his outfit and his attitude. Like you used to not
See,
Boston.
this is a weird quirk of mine. I slip into different accents without realizing it.
Oh, I love it. It's great. I was like, oh, we're from
Who
Boston
the fuck is this man with his guitar drill? Can he play Freebird on that thing?
now. Anyway,
Or
here's
just flip it
Wonderwall.
But yeah,
So
I
we
did
got-
enjoy the movie. I just wasn't quite thrilled by it like the other two, like y'all were. But I
Oh,
think
I
I would
mean-
still definitely watch it again and with other people. It'd probably be more fun that way.
Yeah. Like I said, this movie's like a 2. No, it's like a 2.5 to 3, but on the camp scale, it's like a 4 point. It jumps at the 4.5 automatically.
I mean, okay, so I'm not gonna say that like it's like the greatest movie out there. It's
You can love a bad movie. It's fine. It's not
I
hurting
mean-
anybody.
I mean, Velocipaster is one. Like
Oh,
that is a
Sharknado.
very-
Most of us love Velocipaster, even though
Period.
it's terrible.
it is such
the
a
worst.
bad movie. It is, but I fucking love that movie.
It's like the worst piece of shit ever, but it's like the greatest piece of shit ever.
it tickles me. It fills me with so much joy.
Matt
And, oh
Sherman
my
is
God.
somewhere listening to this going, "Bleh."
It's dude, and you know what's funny was that on the way over to San Francisco, like driving from Vegas to San Francisco, I have been watching Distractable, which is the podcast that Mark
Listening.
there and his friends do. Yeah. And so they were talking about like what's one thing that's so bad that it's good. Like it's so horrible, but yet you enjoy it so much. And Mark had mentioned Velocipaster, and I almost like caused an accident. I was like, "Yee!" Mind you, this is a very old episode. I am very behind. I am so sorry, Mark, Bob, and Wade. You are my driving podcast. I listen to you while I'm driving. Very long distances because I enjoy laughing while I drive. Jesus, my dog scared the hell out of me. Hi, pup. You're not going outside right now. And I feel like Driller Killer, Driller Killer, Summer Party Massacre 2 fits that for me, where this movie is so bad that it's good. Like, some of the things don't make sense. There's things that happen where I'm just all like, okay. Why? Why did it happen this way? But honestly, the part that takes the cake is the music number for me. I love a good cheesy music number.
Yeah, no, same.
But yeah, an average is the same as last week's. It is a 4.3.
Bet. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude. This is the last episode of May's Massacre May. Join us next time as we do something else starting in the month of June. No theme for June, just going back to regular old stuff. Anyway, bye. Bye.
It's like, I don't have an outro. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Buzz wild, everyone.